Okay, hello and welcome back everybody. For today's video, I just finished reading Deuteronomy for my today's reading, and it is basically Moses restating the rules that God has laid out for the people of Israel when they get to the promised land, which they're about to enter. And it ends with Moses passing away. And, anyways, out of that, it was obviously a lot of reading about the rules and regulations. But something that really stood out to me in the reading was it also listed many times it talks about what God will give you or give Israel if they follow his teachings, if they love him, and what he will do if they don't. So basically, it outlines what's a blessing, what's a curse. So I want to read from Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 9. The Lord, the Lord your God will then make you successful in everything you do. He will give you many children and numerous livestock, and he will cause your fields to produce abundant harvests. For the Lord will again delight in being good to you as he was to your ancestors. So the part that stands out to me in all the times that they mentioned the blessing or the ones that popped out to me were God mentions being very productive in terms of children, so having a lot of children, being fruitful, your family growing, and the other thing is being successful in anything you do. It doesn't have to just be livestock or farming or anything like that. I mean, you could easily apply it to today. It could be investing, it could be real estate, it could be, software, whatever it is you do. So I started to think of something interesting, which is I'm every day, probably the number one question on my mind is how do I better understand God's will? How do I understand what God wants me to be doing? And yeah, that's the thing I think the most about. So today when I was reading this, I was thinking, okay, well, God's making it very obvious. He's saying, if you do the things I want you to do, like a parent, I will reward you. I will bless everything you do. If you don't do the things I will do, I will correct your actions by punishing you, right? So I started thinking about that, and then if I apply it to my life, in my life, when I make choices, I can simply look around my life and I can evaluate, have I become more blessed or have I become less blessed, right? If I'm becoming less blessed, that basically means I'm doing things I'm doing or are against what God wants me to do. So I should adjust. If I'm getting more and more blessings, then I'm on the right path. I should just keep going with that. And this brought me to an interesting realization, which was I realized I don't think enough about my blessings because I realized I can't. I started to think like, is my life more blessed or less blessed than it was yesterday? And I realized actually I'm not sure. I'd have to really think about it. And so actually the point of this video is I think it's very important that on a daily basis I take stock of my blessings, right? Um, and on that note, I want to share a crazy blessing that happened to me last week, just as an example of an outlier. And then there's daily blessings we have, which can sometimes be hard too. So, daily blessings, I eat delicious food, right? I not just food to nurture me, I always have enough food and I eat very deliciously. Another blessing I've been very fortunate to have is I always have a nice place to sleep, a great bed, a great pillow. I sleep well, good temperature, not too hot, not too cold. Um, these are all those minor blessings that people are not, they're not minor, actually. I shouldn't see, even that is my mentality is wrong. Those are major blessings. Those are things I should not take granted for, but I do. So I want to start kind of listing out my blessings every day. But anyways, on to last week, a crazy blessing happened is I money I have that I'm not doing anything with, I tend to invest in something, right? Not just put it in a bank account. So I had a bunch of money. Okay, I won't say a bunch. I had money in the stock market, and last last weekend or two weekends ago, I was deciding that I was going to sell it, and why I was going to sell it is kind of complicated. There's just things I wanted to do with it. Um, One thing I wanted to do with it is I told you I'll be moving to my sister's to help her family and kind of be with her family. So I need money for that. Another thing, I was talking to DeMatty about going on like a mission trip to Thailand, so I need some money for that. So anyways, there's just like different things that I needed to get some cash to do. So I decided I'm going to sell my stock, right? So anyways, I sell everything on Tuesday. And then over the next days, right, that next week, the stock market has had the biggest crash that it's had since 2008, which was like the last major recession, if anybody doesn't know that. So that is insane. And the reasons I sold had nothing to do with me paying attention to the stock market, anything. Like, I don't even know the last time I read anything about financial markets. So literally, I just had a sense like, hey, there's these things I want to do. This is the path that I think God wants me to be on, right? Like, I think he wants me to go to my sister. I think he wants me to go on missions and help people. And there's just a bunch of things he wants me to do. And I took the steps to make those things a reality. And then, I mean, the timing could not have been more perfect. I literally sold at the absolute peak. And for anybody who's ever invested, that's crazy. Like, to have that level of timing is crazy. So that was a major blessing, and it was a blessing, and the reason I thought about it, it's a blessing that shows me I'm on the right path, right? Like, all my intentions when I sold were the intentions I think God is very happy with me for. Everything in my heart, there was no selfishness, there was no greed, there was nothing like that. It was all out of love. It was all out of, I love God, I love the people around me, I want to be of service. And I mean, like, that's a miracle to me. Like, that's a miracle. Those are the things that the Israelites, when they were in the wilderness, didn't appreciate. They got miracles of this level from God. They got miracles even beyond this level, and they were just not appreciative and didn't notice them. So anyways, that's why I'm going to start trying daily to think about and take note of all the blessings that are in my life. Because yeah, I've come to realize that I think that's very important. And then finally, the one last thing I want to talk about in this video is another concept came up in Deuteronomy that I think is like, I read it, I was like, wow, it's so simple, but it's so great. And that is the king, when Israel was going to select a king, God commanded that if you select a king, the king needs to, in his own handwriting, write down all of the rules, right? So he needs to, or sorry, and this was actually in Leviticus. I finished that and Deuteronomy I started. But anyways, so he needs to go back and rewrite everything in Leviticus by hand, and basically every day he needs to read it to remind himself. So I started thinking, like, that's such a great idea, because there's a lot of things in life. When your life gets busy, it's easy to forget the little things. It's easy to forget just one rule here or there. And the more you keep that stuff in your mind, the more you can act the way that God wants you to act. So for me, I think I'm going to do the same thing for the 10 Commandments, or that's my intention. My intention is every day I'm going to read the 10 Commandments, and any rules that stand out to me from here on when I'm reading through the Bible, I'm going to try to read them daily just to remind myself, get my head, get my heart, my soul in a place where it's ready to serve God and ready to do what God wants me to do. And then I will list my blessings, and we'll see, are my blessings going up? Are my blessings going down? Anyways, that's my plan. That is all I wanted to share for today. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you are having blessed lives also, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.